corruption, bribery, and fraud. Allegations stretching from Buffalo all the way to the governor's office.
Mr. Simonelli, was the process rigged so that you'd win?
Leading businessmen, developers, and the governor's former right-hand man, all suspects.
This is big-time stuff, and it goes to the core of how I think state government operates.
Tonight, 7 Eyewitness News, tracking the money and finding out what this could mean for the Buffalo Billion.
These are the faces of the power players now facing federal charges in one of the largest cases of corruption New York State has ever seen. And a number of these defendants are directly connected to the Buffalo Billion.
Now, at the center of all of this is your money. Federal prosecutors say these men paid to play, steering hundreds of millions of tax dollars towards themselves to cash in on comeback stories like here in Buffalo and down the Thruway in Syracuse. In all, 9 people are facing charges outlined in Manhattan today by U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara. Charges that include wire fraud, extortion, tax evasion, and conspiracy to commit bribery. Prosecutors say they used bribes to manipulate the open bidding process in order to guarantee they would win lucrative contracts. Among the defendants, Joe Percoco, the former executive deputy secretary to Governor Cuomo. Also charged today, Alan Calieros, the president of SUNY Polytechnic, who was also a point person on the Buffalo Billion project. He is suspended tonight without pay.
The 3 biggest names in Western New York facing charges are 3 top execs at LP Simonelli, the company that was named the preferred developer for the massive Solar City project. They're the head of the company, Lou Simonelli, and 2 of his top executives, Kevin Schuler and Michael Leipold. And 7 Eyewitness News was in federal court here in downtown Buffalo today as all 3 executives faced a judge. The FBI and U.S. Marshals took all 3 men into custody at their homes just before 7 a.m. They were handcuffed and brought downtown to face arraignment late this morning. Louis Simonelli had nothing to say as he left court. An attorney for one of his co-defendants said they were first made aware of this investigation last year.
Mr. Simonelli, was the process rigged so that you'd win?
I can say this unequivocally. There was no bribery here. There was no crime committed. This is a total rush to judgment, and I wish that everyone would withhold their judgment until we're done in this case.
Cases like this are supposed to be tried in the courtroom and subjected to the cauldron of cross-examination. That's what's most important. They're presumed innocent. Right? So to, in advance, provide information to news segments like the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times and things like that, in advance of even telling us about that, it runs the risk of jeopardizing their right to a fair trial.
All 3 men are due back in federal court on Monday.
Now, Frank Simonelli II, the president of LP Simonelli, is standing by his top execs, saying, quote, "We are confident that all company officials acted appropriately and legally. When given the opportunity to fully respond to these charges, we are confident everyone will be vindicated."
As for the governor, prosecutors say there is no evidence that he did anything wrong, but they say this investigation is far from over. There really is just so much more to get into here. 7 Eyewitness News broke this story this morning on our WKBW app. Our Ed Riley is live outside federal court in downtown Buffalo. Ed?
Well, Ashley, according to the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, there are no allegations in this indictment directly against Governor Andrew Cuomo. But this indictment is sending some very strong shockwaves across the state because some of the people indicted are very powerful themselves and also very influential.
Today's complaint shines a light on yet another sordid side of the show me the money culture that has so plagued government in Albany.
Speaking at a downstate news conference, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Preet Bharara, announced the indictment of 9 people on public corruption charges that include bribery, fraud, and extortion in connection with the awarding of millions of dollars of state contracts.
So that all New Yorkers can see in gory detail what their state government has been up to.
Among those charged, Governor Cuomo's former executive secretary, Joseph Percoco. He's accused of taking more than $320,000 in bribes from 2 companies that did state business in exchange for Percoco getting favorable state action on their behalf.
Companies got rich, and the public got bamboozled.
But the 80-page, 12-count complaint also alleges a bid rigging scheme was underway concerning the Buffalo Billion Initiative, charging two people, Elaine Calieros, the president of SUNY Polytechnic Institute, and Todd Howell, both who were supposed to be making sure state bidding processes were fair, but in fact were actually taking bribes.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes for hundreds of millions of dollars in state contracts.
The complaint goes on to charge three executives from local developer LP Simonelli, including CEO Louis Simonelli, with paying Todd Howell so LP Simonelli could become the preferred developer for the Riverbend Solar City project and others. Today, the three LP Simonelli executives were arraigned in federal district court in Buffalo and released.
The people arrested today personally tarnished an historic opportunity that they had no right to tamper with.
Now, Governor Cuomo released a statement saying, "I am saddened and profoundly disappointed. I hold my administration to the highest level of integrity. This sort of breach, if true, should be and will be punished." And Governor Cuomo added that his office will fully cooperate with investigators. Now, U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara said one of the defendants has accepted responsibility. Todd Howell, who played a key role in both schemes, pleaded guilty, and he's now agreeing to work with the investigators. So what does this all mean for the future of the Solar City project? My colleague Josh Bazan has been following that part of the story and has more.
Well, that's right, Ed. Officials with Solar City tell me today that despite these arrests and despite the investigation, none of it will have any impact on that project on the Riverbend site. Now, they say that it does remain on track to bring hundreds of jobs to that facility in South Buffalo. Now, Solar City is the largest residential solar energy installer in the country. They have offices across the U.S. and installations in 27 states. The facility in Buffalo is expected to create more than 1,400 new jobs. We caught up with Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars today. He says he doesn't believe the federal charges against executives with LP Simonelli will impact Solar City.
The Solar City building is done. To my understanding, the keys have been turned over to Solar City. Now they're starting to move in their equipment. So I don't have any question as to the continuing of that project, and I believe the issues associated with the local developer, LP Simonelli, were directly associated with the Solar City project. So I don't have any questions as to that. I don't have any concerns.
Officials with Solar City say they weren't involved in selecting any of the companies to work on this facility in Buffalo, and again, will work with the state to make sure the criminal charges don't slow down the facility's progress. And just 2 days ago, New York Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli announced the state had approved more than $140 million in funding to the Fort Schuyler Management Company for work on that Riverbend site in South Buffalo. We're live in front of the federal courthouse in downtown Buffalo. For Ed Riley, I'm Josh Bazan, 7 Eyewitness News.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for all of your work on that. 7 Eyewitness News legal analyst Florina